Hey everybody, XEI here. Welcome back to a channel update for December. I have no plan. I normally don't have a plan, but I really don't have a plan this time. That's why it's a couple days late, but most of the stuff I could talk about for what's coming in December, I talked about in the November update because I thought it was coming in November. But in any case, I'm still dealing with some time management constraint issues in my life. I'm navigating all of that stuff. It started in early October, and I assumed it was going to maybe be done somewhere in November, but unfortunately it's not. I'm thinking maybe another week or so, and then I'm going to be taking vacation time, so I'm going to be devoting that time to YouTube during the holidays and getting a bunch of stuff done. I'm going to start another game during that time, more than a game, during the last 2 weeks of December, and then hopefully things will be on track in January again. I feel like my life train is getting back on the rails. I'm not quite sure yet though, so just so you know, sometimes it's gonna be a little bit erratic on the channel until I figure that out. Here's what I can do though, this update. I can talk about all the games I installed. And I'm prepared to do a series. I'm prepared to do a couple games because I knew I wanted to do them. I figured if I don't have time to play them, I might as well just set up a couple of them, make sure the settings are right, make sure all that my capture software is good and all that stuff. So what I'll do is I'll go through my Steam library and I'll talk about the games that some of them you already know. Obviously, the one I want to play. I was going to play in November. I tried. I loaded it. It's Bioshock Remastered, Bioshock 2 Remastered. I loaded it. I got it ready, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to commit to it, and I did the exact same thing last year where on Halloween I started Bioshock, and then it took me like 6 weeks to get past episode 7, I think, and then it was like 6 weeks or 7 weeks where nothing happened, and then I had to play it into the new year. So I didn't want to do that again, so I pulled it back in. I was like, nope, I'm not ready, and I will do that when I can commit to it. And I'll talk to you about a strategy I'm thinking of maybe using for Bioshock 2, and that is there's a second game I recorded during November, which was Sheltered. I did do a couple episodes of Sheltered on the channel. I got sort of stuck in it on my first run, but then I created a Fisticuffs family. I had an idea of what could potentially like rock through the game. So I got to a point where I'm like, I'm done. I'm officially retiring. I'm officially retiring the Fisticuffs. So what I did with that game though, as you can tell by this, is I pre-recorded the entire series. And so I think that's what I'm gonna do with at least one game a month, maybe two smaller games. I'm gonna record them on my own time, my own sessions. Maybe not with webcam, like games that sort of lend themselves to that. I'm gonna do more of those games. I always try to find ways of maximizing the time I have in my day, and I have a number of things that are really disruptive to my scheduling. But wherever I can find that half hour, or wherever I found that 1 hour, like if I was exporting a Dragon Age video, for example, I can't play any more games. I can't export more. I can't edit other videos. So literally my system is just stuck for an hour and a half. So I decided, well, a lightweight game, like a pixel game like Sheltered, I was able to get that 1 hour in, or get that half an hour in, and it's all just one run. Like it's not episodic really. I'll chop it up into episodes, but so what that allows me to do is that allows me to like not have to even measure how much time I'm playing. I don't have to go, okay, did I record half an hour already? Did I record an hour already? I can just go, and as long as my time is available before like I have to like do whatever, I can just get into that game and get some stuff recorded, and so then I can stitch all that together and then chop, and then that game is out it's out there onto the channel. So I want to do that for other games. I might do that for Bioshock 2 Remastered. I don't know yet, because that's a game that has some components that probably it would be in my best interest to let the community stop me from going down a path that would compromise me or miss things. Like if there's a tape, I don't know if tapes or discs or whatever exists in Bioshock 2, but if there's stuff I can find, I want to find it. If I'm about to leave a zone, people can remind me, stuff like that. So maybe that game doesn't work out for it, but I know there's other games out there that will work for it, and so I'm going to be looking for games like that. So what I ended up doing is I ended up installing a couple games in my Steam library, because I figured somewhere in here is going to be, you know, the December, December, January, like every month I want to do a game like this. So let's go through the list. I did end up buying Finding Paradise, so I will continue the To the Moon series. There's also stuff in To the Moon that I forgot to do. Like, that I missed in To the Moon. I missed 2 mini episodes in To the Moon. So Sigmund mini episode 1 holiday special from 2013 and Sigmund mini episode 2. I don't know how long those are, but obviously I want to do those first. I'm going to do To the Moon mini episodes. I've done A Bird's Tale, and then I'm going to do Finding Paradise. Oh, just to talk about, I'm going down the list anyways. Borderlands 2, we're definitely going to be done. Big game hunt by this month, and then we're going to kick off Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, which I didn't know about before. I was probably the reason I bought Borderlands 2. I saw a trailer for it and I was like, okay, I'm in. All the Borderlands games, give me them. After that one, we're going to be doing the prequel. So we've been at the Borderlands co-op game for over a year at this point. It's a huge effort, but it's been a lot of fun, and I've loved playing Krieg this time around. It's such an opposite mechanic gameplay dynamic cycle. There's stuff you got to do with Krieg that's the opposite of what you normally do in a shooter or a game, or like when you're trying to save your, like keep yourself alive. No. I put myself into situations to take as much damage as possible so I can unload the most damage as possible, go KO, get myself out of KO by doing damage while I'm in KO, to then kick off of the axe thing that gives me the super arm that gets me all my health back, and I do it over. It's just, you're in this cycle of like alive dead, and it's so much. My screen is flashing so much. It's literally, you can't do that if you have sensitivity to flashes and stuff, because I barely see what's going on. Like, I think 50% of the time I'm playing Krieg, I don't even know what's in front of me. I literally am just swinging. If you watch the Let's Plays, you know it's on my screen. I can't see anything. It's clear. I don't know what I'm swinging at. Sometimes I'm swinging at friends, and the friends can hit me, but I can't hit them. It's great. It's a great dynamic. And anyways, it's a fun game. It's been a long journey, but I'm looking forward to the prequel, and then I will be doing the Telltale Games Tales from the Borderlands as well. That'll happen next year. Okay, what else did I install? I installed this one a while ago. It's still lit up in my Steam library. It's Deus Ex Game of the Year. I did end up fixing it. There was a bug that made the, if I remember correctly, it's the visuals were too fast for the audio, because it's a very old game and it was all out of sync and all. Yeah, so I got some fix in it. I think it updated the meshes and it fixed the timing of all those cinematics, but it's such an old game. I played maybe 5 minutes of it to see what it looked like. I'm like, I don't think I could do this. I don't think I'm bringing it to the channel. I'm sorry. Its time is limited, and there are other games I really, and franchises. I'm not even talking about single games here. I'll get to it. Franchises. So I need to maybe say no to that one. I will do Human Revolution at some point. I did try Invisible War, I think it was, also, because Invisible War worked. I played maybe 30 minutes of Invisible War. Again, it's too old. It feels too old. I'm sure the content is like, there's people who really love Deus Ex. Is that that's how I pronounce it. But I think I need to go to a more modern installment of that game. I think The Fall is, just from a ratings perspective, Deus Ex The Fall is horrible ratings. So unfortunately, I bought a collection of all 4. I think I'm playing Human Revolution. That's the one I think is going to eventually come to the channel. We're talking way in the future, probably late 2019. Okay, so let's go down the list. Fallout. Oh, not Fallout. Elder Scrolls. Oh man, all Elder Scrolls Special Edition. I want to do that one, the Solstheim expansion. So, but I've been talking about it for over a year. I started it. I tried to do it a year ago when they released the Special Edition, but it's the Skyrim crafting hole. Like, there's something that happens in the open world game that does not lend itself to an LP. It could if you could stay focused and not so distracted. It could, but it's so well done. The open world is so well done in Skyrim that it's very difficult for me not to get absorbed by the open world of Skyrim. It's a little bit of that is happening in Dragon Age Inquisition, but not well. And I don't mean that it's not good in Inquisition. It feels fine. I have no complaints about the hinterlands and that exploration phase of stuff in Dragon Age, but it's not an open world. It doesn't have the same who cares what you do mentality to it. There's an urgency to the storyline that happens in Dragon Age. It's crafted to be told in a certain linear way, with certain continuity and certain urgency, and you can't, so something's not mixing. But the same feeling of being in an open terrain where you can just go mat hunting, and you can, you know, you're picking up little quests here and there, and I love the lore of it all. That's very disruptive to a well-crafted story. Not to say Skyrim doesn't have a crafted story that has a through line, but it's not the same. The urgency isn't really there. There's like a war happening in this other part of the world. There's you go into different cities, and there's whole cultures like blow up around you, and there's like organic transition between all of these things. It's like you can do whatever you want in Skyrim, and the main quest never matters. And you can I took maybe 200 hours before I finished the main quest because it didn't matter. So focus. Point is, I would eventually like to just focus and do Solstheim. I like to do the just because it's contained. It's just that little island. But then I think I glitched out, like something glitched out, and then I just like, I gotta redo that whole hour again. I never went back. Okay, let's go back. Let's keep going down here. What else did I install? I installed Life is Strange. I will be playing Life is Strange. I feel like that's one, for example, I'm going to be doing that in little pieces, and then I'm going to have the entire thing recorded, and then I'll release them episodically. I think that will work very, very well. I have one called Never Alone. This is a very, it's not a I don't think it's well known. It's this cute little game where you play this fox who has to survive this blizzard, and it's supposed to be very short. So I'm just reading the summary here. It's an atmospheric puzzle platformer developed in collaboration with the Inuit, an Alaskan native people, drawn from a traditional story that has been shared across the generation. I'm a big fan of folklore. I'm a big fan of oral tradition. I believe that's what I recall reading or learning about this game. When I found out about it, I got it because I would love to experience it, because I'm a big fan, especially of native folklore. So I'm from Canada. So growing up, I read a lot of native folklore, just because I was very fascinated with it, even as a kid. That expanded to just my interest in oral tradition in general from all cultures. I try to pick up whatever folklore I can read, and I love reading the history of it. So anyways, I think there's like extra content in here because it came with the soundtrack. Anyways, I think there's like things are I don't know. Point is, it's supposed to be a short experience, but it's supposed to be very artistically done, and with input from the culture itself. So very curious about Never Alone. Let's go down the list here. The Stanley Parable. Yes, I finally installed the Stanley Parable when I thought I was going to take a week off in November. I didn't. I'm going to play it on Tuesday. That's what I've been recommended. So I haven't started that one yet, but it's ready to go, and I will probably do that one as one of those where I just sit and do it, record it, and when I have a nice stack together, then I'll release it. What this actually means is that there's going to probably, at one point, I might have 6, 7, 8 games in my backlog. Like, there's just like portions of them are all completed, but they'll be like on a drive somewhere, and then I'll start cutting them together, but it means they'll come more consistently. And when that starts to happen, more things will start to hit the channel because I will have a lot more backlog just done. I will talk about, Pokemon, Soul Silver. Oh god, I forgot which one I was going to do. So Pokemon Generation 2, Soul Silver or Heart Gold. I'm going to do the one, someone told me which one it was that had the, I'm doing a canine theme. So it was one that had the Arcanine. One of them has the Arcanine and one of them does not. I'm going to be playing the one with the Arcanine, whatever game that is. I might start it at the end of December. And I shouldn't be doing it, but I'm going to tell you why I feel like I need to do it. I feel like I need to do it because I need to have something fun. Not that Inquisition is not fun, but I want to have a game where I really enjoyed the feeling of Leaf Green. So I want to play a Pokemon game, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Whether bad or good, I'm going to do it. And it'll be intermittent, a game as well. I know, I said that for Leaf Green. Shut up. Point is, I'm going to do it. I'm going to play it because I want to have some fun. The other game, this one I've been talking about probably for over a year at this point too. Assassin's Creed is coming to the channel. I know I'm planning a lot right now, but I think I'm either going to start it during my break as well, or I'm going to start it in January. It does sound like I'm going to start a lot. It's true. Assassin's Creed 1. That might be a game. I don't know. You guys let me know. I don't know. I know people who know of the game, and I never talked about it like it was something that was like super investment. As a franchise, as an IP, yeah, there's way too many friggin' games in Assassin's Creed. I'm willing to play the first one for sure, maybe the second and third. I don't know. Maybe. Which is what, Brotherhood and 2? Is that how it works? Anyway, I know I have the list somewhere, but I'm gonna play one for sure, and I might do that one as well, where I do it as intermittent. Like when I have time, I'll do a little bit here, a little bit there, I'll get the whole thing recorded, because it's what, a 30, 35, 40 hour game. So I'll do that, because see, if I can do it on my own time, it's actually way more manageable for me to record games like that than it is for me to record them in pieces and then get them out on the channel, because it's disruptive to the flow of me being in the game, playing the game, like, because I have to edit it, then I'm actually re-experiencing things, and things get disjointed. It's an entirely different experience that works for RPGs and like deeper story games that have more time where you can stop and think. Now I don't know if it's, oh Jesus, that's a lot of glare right now in my face. I'm not sure if Assassin's Creed is like that. I don't know if it's like a kind of a casual kind of adventure game, or I think if I recall from what I'm 10-year memory here, but like I recall it not being a puzzle platformer, but it was like a terrain. It was like a train platform thing. Like you just moved around. Kill people and then hit and stuff. So, and then you just, I don't know, maybe you get a boss, you kill the boss, you probably get some way of getting a new boss to assassinate, and then you just assassinate a bunch of people until you get to the end, I'm sure. Anyways, so I just launched GOG because I forgot the name of this game. King of Dragon Pass. I installed King of Dragon Pass. I tried to set it up. I'm having issues. I'm having issues with King of Dragon Pass because I can't get it to not be full screen. And because I have this full screen that's super wide, it's stretching the entire game, and I don't know how to fix it. I've looked up some stuff to try to get it into window mode. It doesn't work. Something's not working. It's not working for me. So I would like to play that one because it feels like that's also a game. You see a theme here? I'm trying to find the games that I can just play like I did for Sheltered, where I don't know how many hours I got. It wasn't like 40 hours, but it was maybe, I don't know, 20, 15 hours? I don't know what it was, but it wasn't a lot. And it was done through November and like super weird chunks. But then I got to a point and I was happy with it. And I'm like, I could totally start this for another game. Half an hour here, half an hour there, right? King of Dragon Pass was the first one on the list because this was recommended last year during a time where I forget when this came up in the chat, but every time you guys write a name of a game in the chat, I do add it to a wish list, I do add it to a list, I do keep my eye on it, and then when there's a sale or something, I'm like, that one's fine, let's go pick it up. And I'm going too long about that one. So the second game I installed on GOG was Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. And I did load the game, and then I was like, okay, well, how bad is it? Because if it's like Deus Ex bad, then I don't want to do it. But it's got really good reviews from a story perspective. The fan patch is installed because I got the GOG version, which automatically comes with the unofficial patch that literally fixes this broken game from 2002 or something. So fans patched it through the years, and now GOG sells the one with the unofficial patch that makes it a superb game, presumably. So I want to play Vampire the Masquerade. Like you don't understand. I was in high school when one of the first RPGs I played, like tabletop. Well, the first one was like, it was D&D for sure. It was Forgotten Realms, I think, and then it was Ravenloft, and then it was Vampire the Masquerade. I played, and I'm gonna make that vampire. He was like a singer in a rock band, but he did like clubs, but he was like super famous, but he had like clique followers, and he was like, anyways. So I'm gonna be playing Christian Kiss, I think was his name. I want to play Christian. I'm bringing all these old characters to this channel. Christian Kiss is from '92, guys. this guy's a long time ago. So I would love to play. I think it'd be fun. These are usually New Year's videos, aren't they? When I start talking about just a bunch of stuff happening like on the broad scale. So I should end there. That's all I wanted to say for the update video. Again, it's a lot of stuff up in the air. At least you know where my brain is at and what I'm trying to aim for. As far as episodic things on the channel where I have to pay, like if I bring BioShock 2 to the channel and I have to coordinate having time to play Inquisition and BioShock 2, I think that is actually more risky than me starting 3 other games that I do whenever I can slide in that half an hour there. Because then I don't have to edit any of it. I just have to record all of it, and then I'll have it all on this massive drive and when I'm ready to edit them, I can edit them, and then they'll just hit the channel like, you know, like dailies or every other day, you know what I mean? So that's the only thing kind of compromising BioShock 2 as much as I want to play it. I have to figure it out. Either I have to start it during, I don't know. I have to figure it out. Until then, there might be a bunch of these other little games that pop up in the interim, and then we'll see what January brings. I'm feeling good that my schedule's almost by force. I'm probably gonna make it work. I'm gonna make my schedule bend to my will, and I will get my time management back in my control, and I will do 2 games. So maybe BioShock 2 has to wait till January. I don't know yet. We'll see. Or it'll probably start late December, but it'll roll into January. Yeah. I'm going to say that. I'm not going to commit to it, but I'm going to say it. I'll talk to you next time. Don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire, everybody. Peace. Oh, and I got my pop filter back.